Hello guys, welcome back. X Collectibles back again for another video. I know it's been a few weeks, but to be honest, there wasn't a whole load to cover until now. So just want to go over some news that just occurred, and also I want to go over a little update on on how some Pokemon and One Piece sets that I deem very good investments, how are they doing, and we'll see what they've been up to as of late. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to review some news from PokeBeach, and we're going to be basically taking a look into this this article explaining English Mega Darkrai EX set coming in July. Is TPCI changing how international sets release work, which is a very which are things that could heavily impact our TCG and the way we invest in potentially invest in future sets. So it basically states that following release of Chaos Rising on May 2020 on May 22nd, effectively we could exclusively reveal the 5th main English Mega Evolution set, and it should be called Abyss Eye on July 17th, which features the Mega Darkrai EX, and it also states that traditionally summer sets release in August, and the only exception was Black Bond White Flare, which means this year's schedule is mirroring 2025's almost exactly. When it comes to what I think, how my first initial thoughts on Mega Darkrai carrying its own set, I'm pretty excited for it personally. I think Darkrai is quite a popular legendary. It could definitely carry its own set, but do I think it's strong enough to carry it by itself? No, not really. If it ends up being like a Mega Greninja or Bust scenario, you know, like Chaos Rising, then I don't think the Mega Darkrai set is going to be as good, really. So I hope they really do step it up for the Mega Darkrai set and make it better than the Chaos Rising set. It also states that in July, in Japan, Storm Emeralda featuring Mega Rayquaza will likely arrive in its English version in September. Which honestly, it's even a better. It seems to be a much more hyped set than Abyss Eye, because Rayquaza is just in the cream of the crop tier when it comes to actually carrying sets. Rayquaza is in the top 10, probably top 15 most popular Pokemon, known and liked. It's going to, I think it's definitely going to carry, it's going to help carry the new quote unquote destined rivals, evolving skies kind of set. It has definitely that potential going for it. I do hope it is stacked with quite a lot of Pokemon, rather than just Rayquaza or Bust. I hope Rayquaza is accompanied by a lot of other legendaries that are going to make the set interesting and extremely hyped and liked by collectors. I am hoping that this is going to be the case. So keep your eyes out for Storm Emeralda and its English counterpart. So there's been a special 30th anniversary set confirmed, obviously. Will be released presumably in October, and obviously, as unlike other sets, it's going to be in production for several months, and we're going to be getting consistent supply from its release date till months after. Very hyped about this. I think maybe when this set comes round, it's gonna trigger just another a continuation of explosive growth that we've just seen from last year carrying on to this year, and it's just going to get even stronger, I think, when the 30th anniversary set releases. It's going to trigger a huge hype wave. I personally can't wait to see what cards they're going to include in the 30th anniversary set. You could get reprints of much older cards. I'm personally very I'm looking forward to hopefully seeing them reprint, like, level X cards and tag team cards. I really hope they get tag teams as some very popular tag teams as pools. If they heck, if they reprint the Lovebirds there, that thing is going to be worth hundreds of pounds just for a copy. I reckon so. Um, anyways, and obviously we are anticipating, and for the last set or main set of 2026, so far, we are speculating a Japanese set called Aura Seeker, it could be featuring Mega Lucario. I'm very excited for this personally because I really do think Mega Lucario, Lucario has the potential to carry a very strong set. I just do hope that it's not going to be Lucario bust. I really hope that Lucario comes with a very strong um amount of support Pokemon helping it carry the set. And I'm very excited to see how well Lucario can carry its own set, being the chase card of the set. So if Mega Evolution base shows us what Lucario is capable of, then we're in for, I think we're gonna be in for a very, very pleasant surprise when it comes to Aura Seeker and its English counterpart. So yeah, it's mentioned, it also mentions that there is an important change that we are seeing as of late with how Pokemon is printing our recent sets, our recent main sets. They've been apparently, well, it's a matter of fact really, they've been a more direct one-to-one adaptations of Japanese sets, rather than massive combined sets where they've combined at least two Japanese sets into one to make one English set. Perfect examples like Phantasmal Flames, Perfect All, and Chaos Rising. I personally don't like this a lot. I am worried that this will significantly, reduce each subsequent set's, value and collectability, because if you're only relying on a direct one-to-one adaptation, you're not gonna get as many popular Pokemon as chase cards. You're gonna get like one or two max. Phantasmal Flames, only the Charizard is sought after in that set. It's Charizard or bust. Chaos Rising, another example, Mega Ninja or bust. That's why, and it's gonna really affect the set depth, I think, going forward. And I'm really hoping Pokemon TCG fixes that, because I think in terms of a collectivity and the set depth standpoint, it's not gonna help future potential value near as much as as how they were doing it before, which was more at least two Japanese sets merging into one English set. So that is something to bear in mind, and I hope Pokemon do fix that. And yeah, anyways, it also states that they're basically saying that another reason why, I mean, a big reason why English TCGs are producing smaller sets is to do with a response to the global trading card game shortages. So it's a way for Pokemon to basically pump out more sets, each with a more, limited print, but it's gonna help, spread out the it's gonna basically help spread out the the printing schedule for the year. So essentially we're gonna get more product, but it's gonna be um less set depth in each product, which is a cause for concern, really, I guess. And they're also saying, like, it's worth noting that the Millennium Print Group is set to open a massive new printing campus, which I've stated countless times. However, it has come to my attention that they will be fully operational by 2028. Apparently, they've updated, and they're basically telling us that this facility, which is supposed to be a great help to addressing our current, you know, trading card game shortage due to a crazy demand going on right now. It's not going to be fully operational by next year. It's going to be fully operational by the following year. So what does that actually mean? It means sets like Destined Rivals, Ascended Heroes, Mega Evolution Base, and Phantasmal Flames are very likely not going to get impacted, if at all, by the time the printing facility comes into play. And it just means that we would think that these sets would have more opportunities to get reprinted and be printed more to demand, but because the printing facility has been pushed back a year, it means those sets will be pretty much nearly out of rotation by the time, if not out of rotation by the time the new facilities is fully operational. So I think whatever we've got on the market is all we're gonna get. And if we ever get any reprints by now until then, it's gonna be very minor prints. So I think we gotta just, if you're very bullish, if you believe in these sets long term, now at these prices, I think these are as cheap as they're gonna get, really. Oh yeah, how can I forget? Black Ball and White Flare is also on that category as well. That's also a really good set. So prices are only going to continue to go up for these sets because the new printing facility is not going to be reprinting them to any significant degree. So yeah, this is by far, I think, the biggest news, alongside the fact that obviously the Pokemon company have been making more direct one-to-one adaptation of Japanese sets, which I hope they do change this, as if it's a more direct one adaptation, it means less chase cards per set, less set depth per set, and it's gonna kill collectivity and set depth for subsequent sets. So I hope they do fix that. But we will. If you still believe in Pokemon like I do, I think we're gonna invest into decent sets regardless, even if they're one-to-one adaptation. So let's see. We'll see how this impacts future price growth for these sets in the future. Right. So we've got more in deep. So this is a more in-depth article about the 30th celebration Pokemon TCG set that we know is coming out in October. I think yep, it was said in the last article, October, around October, in the in Europe and the United States, but in Japan it's going to be releasing September 6th, around September. Oh, actually no, it is going to be released in September 16th. and I've already said they're gonna be reprinting old cards and old rarities, which is fabulous. And also, apparently, they're gonna introduce a brand new card rarity, and I don't know how I feel about that. To be fair, I think we've have so many rarities, and to have another rarity just added, um, I think it's a bit of an overkill. But at the same time, I kind of welcome it because it just gives collectors that many more things to chase, um, and I think, to be honest, I don't see how special illustration rares and illustration rares are going to be overtaken by something that collectors are going to deem more attractive than our current max rarities. But if they can make a new rarity out of the blue that is actually competing with with the hype and the quality of art that our current max rarities currently in our TCG are, then I completely welcome it, and I hope Pokemon does a good job in introducing a really good sought after rarity. So we will have to wait and see how that goes. Um, they will be releasing a premium deck with Espeon and Umbreon. Premium deck sets are not really items that you should be investing in, really. But I mean, you could take into consideration that Umbreon and Espeon will be forming part of it, which are two extremely fan favorite Pokemon. So we'll see how that performs when the deck releases. And yeah, I think yep. In the bottom, it also states Japan's upcoming TCG schedule. May 22nd, we're going to get Abyss Hive featuring Mega Darkrai. July 31st, Storm Emeralda featuring Mega Rayquaza, which I'm very, very, very much looking forward to. And September 16th, the 30th celebration set will be released in Japan. And later on this year, Aura Seeker. So if I was thinking into the future, I would probably save quite a lot of money, or a significant amount of money, into potentially, investing into this new Rayquaza set. It could very well end up being a contender for the best main set of its era. It could end up being like Destined Rivals is to Scarlet and Violet. It can end up being, Evolving Skies is the best set of Sword and Shield. Destined Rivals is the best set of Scarlet and Violet. Mega Rayquaza a set containing Mega Rayquaza EX could end up being the best main set of Mega Evolution, and as time will tell us if this is really true. I can't wait to go into more detailed analysis as we get more spoilers of what sets in the Japanese sets come up, and by judging by obviously what Japanese cards appear in Storm Emeralda, because we know those cards are coming to the English version, then we can basically come to a conclusion whether this new Mega Rayquaza EX set is going to be an absolute banger to invest in. So yeah, these are two big pieces of news articles that have come up, and yeah, just wanted to explain it and give my opinion about it to you all. So yeah, I'm going to cut this video now, and I'm going to be going into the TCG Market Watch. So yeah, see you in a bit.